Hello, welcome back. And get yourself a cold glass of coconut water, nariyal pani, because yeah, we're all melting away in this heat, and it's going to get hotter this coming week. So let's just try and keep ourselves cool and hydrated in this heat. Just enjoy the summer, beautiful summer together. Yeah, let's get started with the video. I want to be talking about, actually wait, what I'll do is I'll show it to you first and then I'll talk about it, so it'll be easier that way. That is the book. Okay, so my sister gifted me this book for Christmas last year. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out what this book is about. As you can see, it's in Japanese out here, so for those of you who do understand it, please do let me know what it means. But I used Google Translate to figure it out myself. So it's basically about, so the title literally translates to 100 pages of letters, and the beautiful flowers of Japan, some beautiful Japanese flowers. And it's basically like a journal, but it's a bit more interesting than that. So, we've all heard about, these journals that are created with affirmations, with pages of affirmations that each day has an affirmation on it. So they're like, okay, not journals, not the right word. We all know about diaries, right? Diaries with affirmations on every day of the year. So you open it up, say today is January 7th. You'll have a little affirmation on the top of the page, and then you'll have like a to-do list, or you'll have like a self-care to-do list, which is like printed already, and then you go ahead and you write what you're going to be doing for the day for yourself. So these books are like the self-care diaries, right? So this one is something similar but of a different theme. That's even better for me as an artist. Okay, so let's open it up. So what we have on, yeah, so this page, this is like the first page of the book. This page, it talks about the fact that about the different seasons. Yeah, so this book is also inspired by the different seasons in the year, and that's how you're supposed to treat it. The flowers that are printed on every page, the way they transition is the way each flower blooms in every season. That's what I understand from this book. And then you have like a nice detailed catalog of all the flowers, all of them. We've got the Magnolia Quinquepeta. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. Camellia japonica. So yeah, just every flower, it's here, it's listed out, and the detail is sort of written down about this flower. So I will go through this very soon, and I will go through the detail of what every sort of flower means. So yeah, it goes on for a few pages. Okay, and then, so one is about the flowers, right? So it's like you get the scientific terminology and you get some information about that. And then you go on to this page where you can see patterns. Okay, you can see patterns. Now, I haven't translated this page yet. I will, and you'll find that out later in this video. But just on face value, just by looking at it, just by looking at it, what I think is going on here is the print of every flower and every like plant. That's what I think is going on out here. But again, I'll find that out after I translate it, and I'll let you guys know what it means. So that's the first few pages, giving you a little bit about what this book is all about. And then we go. This is the first page. This is the first page, And as you can see, it looks kind of like a hibiscus flower plant. That's what it looks like to me. And the beautiful part about this is there's no name. There's no name. So that's where I come in as an artist, and I sort of have fun with this. I have fun with it. I either, so here, there's a lot I can do with this. I can either, sort of paint the leaf, or I can write. I can do whatever I want. This is my book. I can do whatever I want with it. And that's sort of the beauty of this book. Like every page, see, the next one goes like that. It's a blank flower. Fill it up. Do what you want with it. Okay? It keeps going. It keeps going. Then you have one page here with you've got a blank flower here, and then you've got a ruled page here. So the purpose, from what I understand, of this book is to sort of just unleash your creativity, and it really does, like how say a dancer. Okay, dancer is the best example I can give you, because that's something I used to do as a child. I was a trained Bharatanatyam dancer as a little girl. Bharatanatyam is this classical Indian dance form, which is like eons old. It's eons old, and it's also known to be the dance of Lord Shiva. So yeah, for example, in dance, you have this particular movement. I will take an example from Bharatanatyam itself. It's all about hand gestures. That particular dance form is all about expression and hand gestures. That is the highlight more than the physical movement of the body. Unlike, say, ballet, where the physical movement is the highlight, or like salsa, where the way you move your body is really important to give out the effect or the story you're trying to say. Whereas in Bharatanatyam, it's all about facial expressions and hand gestures. And the one thing which my teacher repeatedly, she made sure all of us learned that is to ace the facial expressions. Okay, because you're telling a story to someone. You're trying to tell the story of romance, or the story of evil fighting the good, or you're telling the story of a rift between, say, a husband and wife. You're depicting stories through dance, right? And in that, the most important thing for you is expression on your face, and the right hand gestures you use. So every time I used to go to my class, the first 15 minutes used to just be us practicing facial expressions, and they are called like hastas. Hastas is like the Sanskrit term for it, which means hand gestures. And we used to keep practicing that, like practicing the different hand gestures every single day until we perfect it. For example, like this literally means a lotus flower. Now if you don't do this properly, and if you're like this, do it today. This is just like years of practice. Or like that depicts a bird, a bird with feathers behind it. So yeah, just small things like this. And one is the hand gestures itself, and then the whole posture thing, like the way the whole thing about Bharatanatyam is to have a really erect posture. Your spine has to be erect. It has to be straight. Your chest has to be out. Your hands have to be upright like that. That's how you are trained in this particular dance form, because it's about sophistication. It represents sophistication. It represents poise, being very poised. And I think that sort of come into my life today. Even this video, the way I'm talking about it, I feel like my face is doing all the talking rather than me actually saying. I'm saying words, of course, but then the way my eyes light up, the way I want to use my hands when I talk, because that everything tells my story. to you. So that was my reference from dance, and this book here, right here, it's a physical manifestation of that. That's what I'll call it. It's a physical manifestation of practice for me, because how I develop my skill on a daily basis is I just go over to my studio, um, I take my brushes and I just start painting. That's just how I am. I just start painting, and I would say like a good 80% of the time I just go onto my canvas or paper, whatever, whatever my canvas is, right? I go over to it and I just start painting. I have no idea in my mind. I have no theme. I have no story. It's blank. It's absolutely blank. I just go and I start painting. I start doing strokes. And as I do the first few strokes, I get an idea of, okay, today I'm feeling like painting a face. So let's go with that. Or that today I feel like painting the ocean, right? So it's really like that's the way I practice, which is, I think now is a good time to sort of make a shift, to make it a little bit more cleaner and more structured, so I can get more work done in that period of time, right? And this book is a good way to start that. It literally, for me, it literally translates to one drawing per day. That's what I feel when I look at this book. It's going to mean one drawing per day, and that's enough. That's enough motivation, because what are you going to draw every single, it's really hard, trust me. When you do this professionally and not as a hobby, you don't treat it, it's not a hobby for me. I don't treat this as, oh, I'm just gonna unwind and do a little sketch because I've had a long busy day. That's beautiful. I totally encourage that for somebody who's got a different full-time role, which is completely different from the arts. It's probably like in tech, or you're a doctor, or you're a lawyer, or like anything, any profession, right? But for me, this is my full-time role. This is what I do for a living. So when that becomes your life, it gets very difficult to churn up ideas on a daily basis, especially like videos like this as well. Like me having to come and say something on the video it's like my own challenge, because putting up, say, my Instagram reels every day, I have to come up with some new idea on a daily basis. Again, I'm not even thinking about the audience, they are far from it. It's just me and my existence, and what do I churn out every single day. So I feel like, coming back, this book is a perfect way to stop that. Looking at a flower, let's see what I get inspired by, Maybe I get inspired by the flower itself and I draw something around it, or I look at the flower and it doesn't even click. Something else clicks in my mind and I start drawing that. So yeah, it's pretty open to interpretation, and that's the beauty of it. That's what true art is all about.